All praises Kembo Kembo na Tatanzami ya Mazulu, Kimfumo Kakuhisa, Nzami Mawesha, Nzami Akobenesha, Nzami Monene. I apologize if this comes out to me when I'm looking a little frustrated because I started working on a video, and of course, the system is fighting it because to reveal truth to people is a problem for the Matrix. And for those who are fighting in it, to bring out the knowledge to people to explain things that they don't want you to understand, that you are in fact being manipulated in your minds. Of course, this is for education and purposes only. And I pray that the Tanzami will rebuke anything, any false spirits, any wicked sorcery or anything at this time. That I will be able to continue and bring this out because, like I told people, to tell the truth is the problem. To live in the lie is okay. Okay. So they know the more people understand the truth, the more you will run away from the lies. And they don't want that because they are robbing the temple and they want to continue to rob the temple. And they don't want to see people change to the side of truth. They want you to stay on the side of lies. It's because the more of our Banabeto Visolele that break free of the prison that they don't realize that they're in, that's a problem for those who want to continue to devour us. Okay? So all praises going to come to Tanzami. To go ahead and get the song again. I have to start it over again. I was singing earlier, but now I have a new video. The videos are not going to be the same. Wikichila, I hope that everybody's doing well. Kembo Kema to Tanzami. We pray that Tanzami will protect and block over. The Mliki Makongo will be intervening. That they will come into the midst. Makai Kambi, Makai Zami, Benakwisa, Benakwisa, Benakwisa. That all the Maliki Makongo, Basantu, Benakwisa, 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 for the protection of this broadcast and to bring out everything that will block any of the spells of the hypocrite. That in the Nakomi of the Komi, Azazel, Kwenda, Simila. Because everything runs off of the stupid goat god and their deception. And like I told people, the secret they don't want to know is everything is about the woman and why the black woman, I'm going to tell why the black woman is really hated and why women in general are being misused and manipulated, because there are really most high angels unaware, but they are also not quite manifesting to connect to the angels they are in the real truth. So they have they're manifesting, but not enough to get back to the concept of being the yoke is really on the imposter, on the real Messiah, and not the imposter. Because when you have your yoke on the imposter, he is going to continue to use you as a fool, as a slave, as a donkey. When you have your yoke on the non-imposter, then you will once again become elevated and raised up, not just in thought, but in reality. Because the concept that this world is real to the Father is how they have brainwashed you, because it's not. Even what you claim to believe, that's why when they say Christ, you were meant to assume they're teaching you the Christ that was a hypocrite, not a hypocrite, when they're teaching you the Christ that was. And everything in this world is based off of that. Okay? Because of those who were on the bottom, they don't want to go back to the bottom. They're fighting. That's why he says, I have to make them. Because he says, no, I'm putting people back on the bottom that don't belong on the top. Like I said, this is all about the whole cake. And I talked about the things about, in the past, I was holding a cup of tea. And what it is that they want you to follow the wrong tree under hypnosis, thinking that you're not, but you are. And then through magic and divination, the imposter will always make you think he's following the right tree when he's not. And he's starting to now manifest. And I saw him in a picture that I saw him. I'm like, he's turning darker. And he's going to continue to suffer. He's sucking up a lot of energy from people. And you're going to see the transition. All right. And, like they talk about Nebuchadnezzar and everything. It's like, no, see, everything is happening about the statue. Okay, it has come to pass. The problem is You're thinking you're on the God against Nebuchadnezzar when you're on the side of the God that was worshipped by Nebuchadnezzar. Okay? And so you're loving out of ignorance, not out of truth. So you're loving Cain, and Cain can't stand you, and you're hating the Most High by loving Cain, because the Tatanzambi, the God of truth, the Most High of truth, the God of truth, the God of the 12 tribes, does not love Cain. But they made Christians believe that they are worse talking to the God of the 12 tribes when they're talking to the God of Esau. They made Muslims the same way, and Judaism. That's why Yohane, the Kusonga Revelation said, I see three frogs. So, but they erased the knowledge of the truth of the Zinanzambi Bantwe, okay, that there's another way that you should be following. And this is why they wanted to get on. That's why they put the Prophet Elia in the former Sekon Kimbangu in prison for 30 years. And then, of course, then they corrupted his followers, which did happen. And then they did the same thing with Toko. Toko was in prison for 11 years. When he left, they corrupted his followers. Because this is how, because the fallen angels are also can manifest as whatever color. The minute you assume something to be true that's not, boom, you're back under the spell. And that's why the Father says, test every spirit to see if I really did this. So you have a lot of people who are spitting on the Messiah while acting like they serve him. And through the divination they have, they can cry with you, they can make you feel like they're loving you, and it's all an act. Because they're also taking you back to the hypocrite. Okay? And this can be done in many ways. And like I said, the Messiah was more concerned about those devouring the sheep than the ones being devoured. The concept is, are you one who's leading the sheep to being devoured or away from them? And many people have assumed things about me. And the Father said, hey, you get it all wrong. Because if you go back to many of the ministries, I told people, do not separate from the non-hypocrite Christ. Just learn the difference between the hypocrite Christ and the one who isn't. And many people are going to learn that this is how the fallen angels have even tricked them into thinking that there's something that they're not, even though they have a lot of knowledge. You can still pervert yourself with what you're believing about yourself. And this is why when the Messiah says, do not let your knowledge puff you up, or you'd be told to go lower. Or do not lean on your own understanding. Okay? Those who don't believe they're not following the hypocrite don't think that they're leaning on. Those who don't believe that they're following the hypocrite are not realizing that they are automatically leaning on their own understanding. Okay? And this is what we're talking about, is to tell someone that it's like, oh no, you're leaning on your own understanding. That's the programming of the sorcerer that they are not realizing that they're praying to. Because he want to make the person who walks in truth look like the liar. And the person who walks in lies look like the truth. Just because they say it doesn't mean they are. And people are making this assumption. And this is how the devil deceived the whole world, is somebody will come and say, well, I'm teaching you the truth. But inward, what are they? Ravening wolves. That's why they want you to be spiritually blind, so you don't see that this person is here to destroy you. I have noticed this with many people. It's like when I watch people, I can look inside and say, that person is a ravening wolf. I'm not trusting that guy. Or this person, he's being misled by the ravening wolves, thinking that they're not teaching them to get messed up when they are. And I told people, don't assume that people come to you, it's like, I want to get back to my heritage and my roots, that their intentions are for good. They could have been sent to make sure they intercept what's happening. And that's what people don't realize, is what's even in the continent and the diaspora and everything, and how they've been creating this whole back and forth, or Africa this, America that, Europe this. It's like this is what they do. They made you think the false God that was rejected by Tatanzambi is good when he is both evil, and his brother is wicked when they're both bad. because they're under hypnosis. Okay, hypnosis means the minute you believe something to be true that isn't, bam, you're gone. You're a coconut head. You're a jack-o'-lantern. You're empty-headed. There's nobody up there. We got you. Okay, and that's the way it really works. Kise kitizitele votuzolana kwamayanga votuzolana wete yoluvuvamu bila mina kikilu impasikezi tantwako votuzolana zolana zolana vozolana wete wingi tunangwa votuzolana kese kingi vananzo votuzolana kentimuna sitako votuzolana kana votu gongwanga lekwa yingi ovanza inisindi di tuvoa votu zolana 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 wete wingi tunangwa votuzolana zambi okutudanga votuzolana singa kutu sambula votuzolana wantu ye kutu kwikila vuvu e kitu bunganga kemo kutu swanganga votuzolana zolana 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 weti wingi tunangwa votuzolana. All praises in guitar. So, as I was speaking before I had my issues, what many people are seeing, and they do it in a nice way. You see people come out here, they do charity work, they do nice gestures for people, they do all of these things for people who are struggling. But the deception is they're also responsible for the struggling. They made it to where you're so messed up that to receive help now from anybody is seen as good. But the same people who messed you up are the ones bringing the charity. This is the deception. This is how the sorcerer has played his game for centuries, for a long time. This is why he said, do not learn the ways of the heathen, because this is what's going to happen to you. This is why the Most High told us, don't give what's righteous unholy unto those who don't deserve it, because they're going to mess you up, because they're under the delusion that they're not hypocrites when they are. This is what happened when we welcome in the enemy every time when we shouldn't have. Because the Banabetu, we always want to be loving the Egyptian God. So when people keep talking about Egyptian or whatever, it's like, no, the whole world is Egypt. There is no this whole deception is they have taken the king who was divided and turned him into pieces of a cake. That is, the whole cake belongs to Nsemu's descendants that are righteous, the Basantu, but the evil twin, and this is where the hatred of the black woman comes from, hates his mother for what he did. And this goes back to even Kaina. He hates his mother for what she did. And it comes back from the rejected woman who knew that the angels bowed down to Adama. But one said, I'm not doing that. I am not going to bow down to his pride. Didn't let him to say that what he did is he rejected the Messiah that was his own brother by rejecting the man that the Most High put there. And he had rejected his own father. That's why he couldn't come back. And the Most High knew he was going to do it. And yes, he was saddened. See, people think, the Most High did not enjoy casting out his own creation. That's a lie. He was extremely saddened to do what he did. He did not want to do it. But he gave him no other choice because he said, you spit in your father's face and you should know better. So now then you cannot be here. You cannot follow your own rules in my house. And that's why he was cast out with the others who were in agreement. And they forever regretted it, but they want all the world to suffer their pain. Okay? The same thing happened when the woman who was found under the coconut tree. That's why I said anybody talking about that is not part of the Most High. Okay? In their whole scapegoating. And then what they have done, they have put her wicked children, have put all of the sin on the woman who said yes, when it should be on the woman who said no. And that's where the purple rain deception is coming in, because that's the code word for the woman on the beast. That's what they call her. And all of her names are blasphemy. Another name she calls her Wonder Woman. Okay, no, she's a dragon, witch. They coded that, in Shrek, because Shrek is the false, that is Balaam and Beor. Okay? And they show how the kingdoms work, and they show you how in the whole thing with the kings, and they were showing you how the kingdoms were in the past were very wicked, and the castles and all the magic, and all the potions, and they showed you all the potions that the wicked the fairy godmother had. The fairy godmother is the Wicked Witch, Wonder Woman in that movie, in that cartoon. And they're showing you that the world was different because our people and all the world has always had this problem worshiping the creation and not the creator. That's why their practices are going to always have dualities, good and bad. Okay, we're never supposed to be good and bad. We're supposed to be just good. That's why he said, my people don't understand in Isaiah. He said, when you know the Most High, you operate in the good, not the bad. You won't put the two together. But now, when you reject it and you go the ways of the heathen, you will mix the good and the bad. And that's how the Banabetu of Isolele feed the beast. For those of us who chose to get away from the Most High. Now, many of us are born into this world, and this is why they mock him with the woman and 12 stars, by the word of threat. Many of us are born into this world to say, I don't agree. But then they're going to call you the one that needs a spanking, the one that needs to get in trouble, the one, get them person straight. Because they've taught your children, your parents, to act in the mindset of the Sanhedrin mentality, discipline, discipline, discipline. Okay? And not the way of the Messiah, pity. Okay? But now, the mindset, people are like, oh, the whole concept of how I'm saved and sanctified, so now I have the authority and I'm just doing whatever I need to do what I want because I'm saved. That was all part of a hallucination, deception spell too, because now you will voluntarily take your children to the pit of Apollyon without even realizing it. And so now, when people are seeing, well, what is going on with all of these shootings and everything, it's like they're not, the media is designed to lie to you. That's why the media that wants to tell the truth, they try to suppress it. Why do they do that? Because they have to keep you in the acting that they have created and pulling on your emotions, because the divine feminine Wizard of Oz, witch, mother, wants you to cry for her children while you are making the father who rejected her cry over his children that ran away to her, as in the days of Noah. Okay? That's why the remnant that would return are those who say, I disagree that world is mine, that how they have portrayed it. But what they tricked us is to go looking to the kingdom and getting out of here and chasing you away from your inheritance by claiming to be something you're not. And that's why the different variations of tribe, when they keep saying, well, Native Americans were black, everybody was black. This is the problem. The non-melanated people have been given the curse. That's why I said it's not Cain supremacy, white supremacy, it's Cain supremacy. Because the false gods are playing this game even with the whole so-called people, because the intent of the fallen angels was to destroy the righteous seed. And this is what they did when they corrupted everything in the days of Noah. They did not want to see any manifestation of a Messiah that was going to be a man who would walk in uprightness. And that's why they did everything to destroy and to pervert the creation, the lineage, the bloodlines, all this stuff. The perversion of the bloodlines, and then make you believe a lie that the Messiah came in the form of the Hamitic gods, Hamitic tribes. It's like, no, the bloodline was not coming through Kami. He was coming through Insemu. Okay? But they have now once again made you believe the exact opposite. You are now talking to the Messiah who is claiming to be to come to the blood of Kami and not the blood of Insemu. Okay? So then those who operate in their secret societies, that is their role. Destroy anyone, because Eswe, the evil twin brother of Yakubi, this is why he knows the way of the Most High, but he can pervert it, because he was taught by Nsaka the same way Yakubi was how to worship the Most High. Okay? Now, knowing that his mother was melanated, he changed everything to look like his curse. Non-melanated, leprous, red hair, red. Okay? Now, Kaina and everybody, they're the one that's talking about blonde, blue-eyed, whatever, whatever. Even in science, they say that these traits are recessive. They're not dominant. Darker skin hair, darker skin, darker is the dominant. Why do they want you to believe this? Is because of what they called the master race. Okay? The one you call Adolf Hitler, he didn't just make that up. They brought it to him. The gods he worshiped in secret. Because they knew when it comes to what happened with Simon Toko, that was born in February of 1918, they understood that Lucifer was waiting on this child. And so everything had to be done to not let the world know that going from 1885 and before, in preparations for this, that they had to remove the evidence of all the other tribal descendants, rename things, recategorize things, and they used the cities that they constructed as a mechanism to hardwire you to the liar that they were all worshiping. So then all it is that the same gods you favored turned on you in favor of what Kaina wanted. Okay? So now, what people don't get is the Banabetu of Isolele, who were in Zilanzambi Bantwe, were preaching the truth for over 1,500 years, but they wanted to erase the knowledge of that for those who were fighting over the cake. Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. each one saying that we are the ones who are to carry the truth, the light, when there was no light in them. Because in order to carry the light, you have to be like the true God of truth. So back in the days of Noah, the false light put out the light, but then the Most High sent people to rekindle it. So the spirit of Hanukkah, or the spirit of truth, has been speaking throughout the ages to stop following Cain. But now we come to like we talk about the 7 kingdoms and the 10 crowns, why they were how that's coded, and that brings you to number 8, Nana. Nana is the star of Congo, but the sorcerer wants you to affiliate it with the star of his mother, which they refer to as Alba. Okay, but it is the Congo star. But through becoming like, when you become like Intinu Salama, and your heart turns away, or you do things to offend the host, like you become Sol Amon, which is what happened. Now, if you take the children to the temple that Solomon built when he was under his wrong mind, this is now going to turn you into a rejected goat and not a welcomed sheep. This is why when we talk about when the Maliki said, oh, they're planting these tares everywhere, the tares are really Ngigi clone. What are these? They're not real. Like I told people, that Pinocchio spell that they keep talking about, that movie is satanic. Pinocchio is 100, that is a satanic movie. They are coding to you in that movie how you have been played by those doing the truth and a lie. Because the Italians were never supposed to be the one running the world. No. But they were given that deception through the fallen angels. Okay? Because they in themselves are corrupted. The people who are supposed to be running the world have always been the righteous Banabetu. But what keeps happening? Lucifer don't want to see nobody transfer over to the kingdom of truth. And that is why when the Messiah came and said, I have the authority, because they're not teaching you his full name for a reason, and then they put the name of the imposter. It's like, no, what they did is they took away the one who came in his own name and gave you the one that came, his father's name, and gave you the one that came in his own name. But they made you assume it's the one who came in his father's name. So in this regard, and in this concept, this is why they say, okay, they say these 66 books are the word of God. Yeah, the word of Amun-Ra, God. Because our Father never proclaimed such things. He never said, no, 66 books, my foot. Okay? But this was designed so that the clones would believe that they're preaching the gospel of truth when they're only preaching the gospel of half-truths. And then they broke it up into pieces. See, this whole thing they keep talking about, oh, the divine nine. The divine nine is the council of Nimrod. Okay? Because the black Egyptians are lying to people. They are the Moorish people. And then they're not the modified, the ones who look like the Egyptian god Ptah, which is really Cain. They are now convinced that they are meant to be superior. They are meant to be the diminutive people. They are the ones. Yes, we are the gods. Okay? So now you're following the imposter lion, calling himself the real lion, and then you automatically assume that those who claim to be talking about the Most High are not working for the imposter lion. That's how they get you back into the deception. Because the sorcerer himself knows he was a Bantu, and he was black. but he operates under the laws of the sea because the beast comes out of the sea. But he made you believe you're operating on the law of the land through what they now call Judaism, which is false because the law of the land is the Messiah Kuswakongo that the builders have rejected. So now, in the hallucination of the fake world that you're living in today, you are making the assumption that everything that you're doing out here is for the ones the builder rejected, when it's for the ones the builder accepted. This is the difference. You think it's the cornerstone of truth when it's the cornerstone of lies, acting as truth. And as he's out here now spilling his guts in different forms and showing you you have been played, you still have those who want to run around and say, no, I was never played. I'm doing it right. That's why even in the scriptures it says, the Most High said the other nations would figure it out before his people. So then when you go running around talking to Bantus or other people who are black or whatever, oh no, I wasn't tricked. But then you go to the other people, oh yeah, we figuring it, we getting it. But some of the people say, oh no, see, they say, yeah, we know we've been lied to, but they're just still going to keep going with the flow. That's the problem. When you've been lied to and you understand it, you don't just keep going with the lie. Okay, that's the problem. You do something about it. Why people won't do something about it? You lose everything. Oh no, see, they'll take away my house, they'll take away my car. No, if I try to do something about it, I'm going to be struggling. The father said, why would you struggle? I'm going to take care of you. I know how to take care of my own when they're struggling. See, and even now, people are getting upset about the way things are happening about family members and their lives is because now more and more the hypocrisy that they have been living is starting to be exposed. And they themselves don't understand, well, why am I being treated? Why is God doing this to me? Why are these things happening? Okay. Like even there's a song that said, It's All Right. I saw the song, they put it in one of the movies. It's like, but the people who are telling you to just accept the things the way they are and it's all right are telling you to accept the hypocrite as your teacher, not realizing this is making you blind on the inside. So now this is why you're enduring many different issues with your body and your mind and your soul, and they're making it feel like it's normal. Why? Because for one, they took the slave food and turned it into your weapon. They weaponized it. They took the food like they used to use in the truck wagons for the cookies and all that, and turned it into break fast. Okay? They're feeding you garbage and telling you it's not garbage. This is the problem. So when you're being fed garbage and you're saying it's not garbage, oh no, conspiracy theory. No, the garbage man is the one. And see, I was glad that I was given the revelation with Red Fox. That's why they put that in front of you and you didn't catch it. The junk man is happy with his junkyard. Red Fox, red, Esau. While you're sitting out here, and then he goes and he snazzes himself up, he puts on a nice suit, and he goes out and does his business, and you think that you're doing business with the one who's not the junk man when you're always doing business with the junk man. Why is that? That people don't see is because they have normalized loving garbage and said to hate the garbage, you are wrong. Okay? And so that is being done to those who have a hatred for everybody. And they've even now put it on a cartoon. The Muppets again. What if we hate everybody? Okay? Oh, yeah, we got something for you too. See, that's the whole concept. And that's why, what I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to bring up the scripture that validates what I'm saying. It goes back to what was being said in the book of Proverbs. Or actually, let's go to Joel first, Joel. And we're going to get into that. Again, Wiki Chila, our praises to Tanzambi, Kemba Kemba, hallelujah, Ingeta. Because the concept, like I told people, the lie is Cain had a twin sister, fraternal twin. Abel had a twin sister. Adama, and they had other children, but they wanted to corrupt these things. Go to where Cain or go to where the Seta, and marry Cain's twin sister after what happened with Abaya. Okay? And that was what the world doesn't understand is he's chasing down through the spirit of these false gods who want it, because the wicked witch, she's the deposed queen. So her son wants to make her queen and he be the king, but they're doing it through force. They can't be king. So they're talking about, well, here's kings and here's queens, but everybody who's being determined kings and queens is being determined by the hypocrite kingdom, not the one who isn't. So now the whole world, and they took all the countries as one piece of cake. They divided it into countries, into pieces, when they actually see sectors, because they're all about the eights. Okay? And the eighth kingdom, which is really the 10th, the 10th and the 7th, okay, but it's really the seventh kingdom divided in pieces because it's Britain became US. Okay? The split, the 8 from the 7, is always in the numbers of tens because of the age of Cain, 730. And so now those are the 10 kingdoms. But then the whole science, because when they had the people create science, was to erase the evidence of who are the reprobates or the drunken reprobates of those who became drunk with the wine of the harlot with Gog and Magog. And now the Greeks or the Phoenicians, they're saying we are the 12 tribes. And everything that they have invented for the last, I want to say, so 1,500 years or more is all Babylonian. But then so is the Roman calendar. So is the Arab calendar. It's all tied, because the Persians or they're all doing these things. All these families, they know it's a manipulation. And so, of course, they're controlling what you see because they turned you into a coconut head and an empty-headed person that you become gullible. And so now when they put it out there, your emotions are reacting to things that aren't even real, the way they're portraying it. It's like, and they're laughing at you because it's like, you're weeping for the one who was rejected, not the one who was accepted. Okay? And that's what they got you crying over with all these images and changes that they made because, people were talking about time travel. I was like, yeah, a lot of people are dealing with witches and warlocks that do divination and see things and oracles and how they're able to transfix and change things. And they want to make people see because that was part of the war against the Lamb. He went to the future to prepare his kingdom before he's crucified. They wanted to mess it up. No, we don't want this to happen. We want to stop this. We want to do something about it. Okay? And that's the part is the Father said, you're not going to stop it, but I'm going to make you think you can, but you can't. And he's going to see how the Father going to embarrass them. And how he has done certain things that they're not even aware of. So let me share the screen. Blow ye the trumpet in Sioni. Now you'll hear them say shofar. We said sofar. That's why they want you on your couch. All the sports is on there. Everybody watching it today. Everybody went to the games and everybody having a good old time and at the parties and sitting in the easy chairs and all this other stuff because they want you sitting on your booty Or they want you out here working. If you're out here working, you're working for what? Peanuts. Because they got the whole cake and then they're giving it to you as charity, pieces of it. And that's why they're not telling you, what are you talking about? I'm not getting an equal share. And if people talk about greed, it's like, no, when you are talking to the hypocrite, then you are ruled by those who are working for the God of greed. But they're telling you they're not, and that's the spell, that's the magic, that's the oh yeah, we get them going in that magic and in that lie. Now they think magic is good, and not doing magic is bad. That's how the whole thing. You think magic is good? No, it's satanic. It's the opposite. In Psalm 11, my holy mountain, let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of enthronement cometh, for nigh is at hand. A day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people strong that have not been over the like, neither shall be neither even the years of many generations. The fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burning the land as the garden of Eden, and before them, and behold, them a desolate wilderness, yea, nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen shall they run. So like the noise of the chariots on the tops of the mountains, they shall leap, the noise of the flame of fire. Now, so these hypocrites made you convinced that this was some kind of a chariot of locusts. Or, no, if you go further down and read it, it tells you it's the army of Zulu. So it's like the northern church, top of mountains, before the face, the people shall be pain. All the faces will gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like the men. They shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one his path, and then shall fall upon the sword. They shall not be wounded. Okay, they shall run up to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter the windows like a thief. The earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And the Infumo shall utter his voice before his army. Okay, this is not the army of Amun Ra, McFlop people. This is the army of the 12 tribes. You have never, that's why I said, if you are claiming America is the army of God, then this is what the military should be doing. It even says it right here. When they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. Every single military in the world is getting people wounded. Medic! Okay? Pieces and parts shot off, whatever. Okay? There's some vet that he made talking about World War II. World War II was designed as a cover, as a smoke screen for the plan that has now unraveling since the 1940s. Because of the intent to inhibit the restoration of the inheritance to those who are supposed to. So instead of giving the inheritance back, they're trying to erase them. And they're using you to do it. Okay, that's the whole point. Those who should have the inheritance that should have the cake and distributing it the way so people will all be in sharing of themselves taking oaths to only give you a piece, and while they keep the whole pie, they give you a little at a time, and then they do these things. Oh, we're going to have a lottery so you can win, go and get your tickets. Oh, we're going to do this. Oh, we're going to have a charity. Oh, we're going to do this so you can have, oh, we're going to buy you, get you a house. And they're doing their works before men, so you do this. Yay! Oh, that's wonderful. Pastor, oh, that's wonderful. Oh, Secret Society, oh, this is so wonderful. Oh, thank you. Oh, I can't believe it. But these are the same people who made you live in squalor and love it. And then they have you all the different options. Oh, I'm going to go be in the NFL. I'm going to be in the NBA. I want to have big dreams. I want to live, I want to be the first millionaire of my family. You're already a million, but you should already be a billionaire. You should all, the billionaires that are telling you you want to be a billionaire, you already are a billionaire. This is what the Father is saying. Open your eyes. You are worth billions or more already because you are more worth than the gold and the silver and whatever it is. That's why the hypocrisy is that you're carrying the kingdom of poverty and not the kingdom that isn't poverty. And so anybody who comes to tell you this, you are a liar. You a damn liar. You a thief. You no, don't listen to that guy. Oh, liar, liar, pants on fire. Oh, you crazy. Oh no, I know what I'm talking about. That's what walking with pride and hypocrisy does. Oh, but look what people, my neighbor did such nice things for me, and this and this and that. That's the way this false Messiah spirit does the miracles to make himself look good. Look, see, I'm doing better than the Father. I gave you this. I gave you that. I gave you free education. I gave you free food. But where is it taking you? To him. What did the Father do for you? Oh, he didn't do. No, the Father says, I can do way better. But you got to decide who you love. He has done many great things, and he has done wonderful things for those who are pure in heart for the truth, but are being used for the liars. You're being used for your compassion and love to work for the imposter and not the one who isn't. And that is what Toka was saying, man, when are my people going to learn? You're praying to Nimrod. You're giving all of your in Hosea, you're giving all of your gifts to the sun god, and he's treating you like crap. But because of those who enjoy being grabbing them ankles and have become Stockholm syndrome, we are listening to people who are being mutilated. Okay, because sexual immorality is not just about the act of sex, it's about worshiping hypocrisy or working for hypocrisy. Okay? The Infumu shall utter his voice, for his camp is very great, for is the strong and executed the word. So then you got all these people talking about, oh yeah, these so-called aliens, they look like the African Americans. So automatically these black Egyptians are pointing you in the directions of the black Egyptian gods again. No. These are the same people. Oh, the gods of Atlantis. Yeah, they're coming. Yeah. Psha! To turn you into, boy, I mean, you don't want to be eternally with the gods of Atlantis. This is the Stockholm Syndrome lie. Get away from the Kemetis, people. They are full of crap. The black Egyptians are running the world. And they scapegoated all the lepers out here. Yeah, no, and they made these countries, man, they run all the countries, but they are demonic people. Okay? That's what the scripture literally meant when he really meant when he said they look like us, they talk like us, but they're not us. He was referring to the Bantu people, not to the converted Phoenicians, Japhethites, Ashkenaz, none of these things. The Greeks. Okay? This is what he was talking about. So now the whole world, gullible McFlies out here, bobbleheads, no brain, just running around thinking that they got taught the truth. and loving lies, they are now comfortable with whatever piece of cake they get. Oh, I want this. Okay, I don't need no more than this piece of cake. I'm good here. And they turn it into individualism in Christ, not togetherness in Christ. So so in the body, each body is doing part of they're doing their own thing. There's no connection. Each part is doing their own thing. That is not how the body of the real Messiah works. It's a unified, everybody is doing what they're asked to do. Okay? But this is how they wanted to claim that they're winning the game because they got his sheep doing everything but be his body. When that is not true. Because there are those who will and are doing their job, despite the fact that they thought they could hinder them. Because there are those that they never stopped. Those who never gave anything over to the hypocrites that are helping their people come out of this lie. We owe it to them because there are many like this. And they know because they remain in hiding. They don't come out and announce themselves very often. I saw a couple of them talking recently. They are starting the process of getting rid of the hypocrisy. And many of us who tried to do it years ago, we were suppressed by those who love the lies, who think, it's like I told people, I do celebrate the Messiah's birthday in a certain way, but I don't do it according to what they taught me. I do it to the way we really did it. Kwanzaa Yutatanzambi is not the same as Christ's Mass. No, it's not. You want to keep celebrating the birth of the hypocrite, that's fine. I'm going to celebrate the birth of non-hypocrite, but I'm not going to do it the way that they have been taught by the pagans. All we do is we give honor to him, and that's it. Our gift to him is your heart. That's it. That's all he wants. He don't need no you come exchanging gifts and presents and doing all this exchange, and they make it look because the bikers come along. Yeah, we're going to give things to kids. And you cursing the Bantu people. You cursing the 12 tribes. And they know it. The 12 tribes aren't supposed to be participating in none of that. Okay? This is the hypocrisy. Now, the world going to find out how much the liar has played you. So many witches and warlocks out here saying, no, we don't exist. Bibbidi bobbidi. Now the most are going to say, nope, let me show you. Even this whole thing about, I know what they're doing with these shootings is because Cain is destroying himself. This is the part of the Lion King when he said in Simba, oh no, see, it wasn't me. It was the hyenas. Oh, he said, we are the enemy. They are turning on themselves. But they're making you believe that you're still following the non-hypocrite God. Like, no, McFly. The Most High does not do anything Roman. We're not supposed to do as the Romans do, ever. This is what keeps getting people in trouble. Because what the Romans do is what the Babylonians did. But you want to think that we're telling you lies. Okay, like in the days of Noah. Nothing we can do about it. So then we go to the law scriptures of Fumu Yesua. I'm going to go to okay, we're going to go to the Ebionites. Now watch this. During the time of Herod, the governor of Mbanza Yuda, you didn't call it no Judea because there was no J. Now Herod himself was not the bloodline of the Most High. He was an Edomite. During the reign of chief priest Caiaphas, Caiaphas himself was also another Danny boy. Okay? But we had our own people in there that were also mixed in. Ioanni appeared and baptized, and the emergent for the change of the heart in the river of Jordan. And the Jordan River is the Congo River. You're going to find this out because we know we had some people that showed us that when they were trying to be in Africa and then they went and made an imposter river. He was considered to be in the succession from the lineage of Aaron, and was the son of Elizabeth and Zachariah, the priest, and traveled out to see him. Now, let me tell you the correct way to say these names that they're lying about. I don't know why this thing is now like this. It's weird. Elizabethi. Now, that's why you're going to, everybody think that Queen Elizabeth, oh yeah, that's why she was so, and the first and the second, oh yeah, these are people who are the bloodline. No, they were the bloodline of the Druids, man. Demonic people, hypocrite, liars, Edomites. Okay? They're not the descendants of this. Okay? Zachariah, because they've already been L. Zachariah or Zachariah. Elizabeth and Zachariah were Banabetu. They were not Edomites. They were not Hittites. They were not Jebusites. They were not Ashkenaz. No, they were not. Okay? This is where people are being brainwashed by the snake. Okay? During the time when Ioanni was baptizing, the Pharisees approached him and approached him and were baptized along with many of the Solomon. Now, the Pharisees came and got baptized. And were they not also Luciferians? He wore clothing made of camel's hair with a leather belt around his hips, and his food was wild honey prepared with oil cake, which tasted like manna. Many people were baptized, and Fumiyesu also came to be baptized by Ioanni, and he also came from the holy water. He came from the water. Now, why was he able to do what he was doing? Is he already see? This is the lie. Ioanni also was manifesting in truth, so the Holy Spirit was also with him. Okay? And the heavens opened, and he saw the monovelly descending on the form of a dove and entered into him. So there's a dove of righteousness and there's a dove of wickedness. You got to know the difference. And the voice came from heaven and said, "You are my beloved representative. I'm here. See, representative, and I am very pleased with you." Now, here's part of the deception that they're not teaching you in the real scriptures. The Monavelala was already with him. So he was learning. And then when he became ready for the next phase, the kingdom now manifested so people would be able to see him teaching. And Ioanni was with him. And see, then they went, and the same Pharisees that baptized, what they do? They lock him up in prison after that, right? Then suddenly a great light began to shine into that place. Then Ioanna said, "Who are you, master?" Remember, these are cousins. They're related. Then the voice from the heaven heard, "This is my beloved representative for whom I'm well pleased." Then Ioanna fell down at his feet and said, "I beg you to baptize me." Master is another word for infumu. We said infumu. Mfumu. But he said, but he could not. He said, accept this because it is appropriate in order for everything to be achieved. Okay? So now, Kuspo Kongo Fumu Yusfu did not baptize Ioane. Okay? But he was, because the point is, but Ioane was already walking in holiness. That's why he was able to do the things that he did. Therefore, there was a man, then there was a man named. See, there's a man named Jesus. Problem. This is not talking about the Messiah, Jesus. He was about 33 years old. He has chosen us. Yeshua. Then he went to Capernaum and entered the house of Simon Kepha. Okay, so I guess they're saying this is Vuma Yeshua. Roughly 33 years old. He has chosen. Okay, yes, but they did not say, the Most High did not put IESUS. No, he did not. Why do you think even the Jewish people say Yeshua? How does Yeshua become Jesus? It's not right. Yeshua. Yeshua. Yesu. Then he went to Capernaum and entered the house of Simon Kepha, Petelo. He opened his mouth and said, while walking by the sea of Tiberia, he recruited Ioane, and this is when he called and getting all his disciples. Now, all of these places that he did this is not in the place that they're telling you. They know where these people were recruited from. Okay? Like your mother and brother standing outside, who is my mother, who is my brother? Then he said, these are my brothers and brothers, those who do the will of my Creator. Look, this is how the world has been brainwashed by the wizard. Okay? Christians think they're doing the will of the Creator. Muslims think they're doing the will of the Creator. Judaism think they're doing the will of the Creator. No, they're not. If they were doing the will of the Creator, each one of these beliefs, the world would have peace. Because the Most High's kingdom is peace. So now look outside. All you see is chaos. All you see is no peace. All you see people shooting. Everybody acting a fool. Everybody out here losing their minds. Why? Because you did not spread the God of peace. You spread the God of no peace. Why do you think you got Arabs and Muslims and everybody out there shooting, killing, whatever they're doing? Oh, but we worship the God of peace. If Christianity was worshiping the God of peace, Christians wouldn't be killing Christians. If Muslims were out here worshiping the God of peace, Muslims wouldn't be out here killing Muslims. And if Jews were worshiping the God of peace, Jews would not be killing Jews. Or anybody else for that matter. Okay? This is why when people say, oh, now Christians are being persecuted for your belief. You believe in Tammuz, okay? And they know it. You're talking to Apollo, and they lying to you, okay? So they say, why? Oh, the Christians are being kicked out of their church in Jerusalem. No. Helios Christos is kicking you out of your church. Because the point is, the church is the body. There's no physical temple the Most High occupies. They're full of crap. The Most High don't dwell in temples made of wood and stone. It's right there in the scriptures. Read it. I'm not making something up. It's right there in the Bible you read. The Most High does not dwell in any building made of wood and stone. He has to dwell in a clean vessel. Why do you think they want to make you dirty inside? The Most High can keep washing. When he says that I'm chastening who I love, that means he keep washing you. You do something bad, he keep washing, he keep cleaning you up until you're going to become like silver and polished. When will this day really begin to manifest is the end of the wizard, the end of the witch. Can't you See, they quoted it. When Michael Jackson and they made that movie, they were showing you were a slave to Purple Rain. That's who Nell Carter was playing in the movie. That Prince was singing about. That was Wonder Woman in there. And then the Wizard of Oz was Saturn. That all of a sudden, when she was gone, then that's when everybody came out. Okay, you can come out now. They're showing you the end of the witch that is claiming to be the queen, the Red Queen of Hearts. That's got everybody out here thinking. And then Lena Horne, like I told you, she played the woman in 12 Stars. But they showed you in the mock-up, she was talking to little melanated little baby boy, little baby children in there that she was sending down. Okay. And why she was a melanated woman is because they know the Messiah's mother was melanated. Even Lena Horne passed for she was black, light skin. I know her parents were Ashkenazi. She was not the correct sequence. Many people are like this because what Esau does is to steal the inheritance. He marries into the Bantu culture with all of the other nations. Go marry the Bantus so I will own the rights to their land and their kingdom. That's why they want everybody for the Banabetu to mix with the wrong people. But that was also told by the Most High, you will go and be among the heathen. Okay? Now, if they want to find salvation, they need to come through those who have learned to get away from that witch, Purple Rain. But they don't want you to do that. Nope. Trey is an idiot. Trey is stupid. I don't want to hear no scriptures. Nah, block it. I don't want to hear that. People are not having money now and they are struggling with their wealth is because the blessings that were handed over to the thing, the Most High gave everything over to the pagans for a time. Now he's pulling it back. So now everything is descending into chaos and fighting and argument. And now you got people saying, we're going to go to Venezuela to get your oil. We're going to go. No, what they're doing now is they're realizing, okay, and this is what's going to happen now. The Father is going to pull everything away that is his. And he's going to give it to those who it belongs to. The cake will be distributed the way it's supposed to be, while everybody else fighting over their cake and killing people for the cake, you will now be on the bottom for eternity. Because you're always supposed to have the whole cake already. People ask the question, and I've given them the answer, but they don't want to say it. Who are we trillions of dollars in debt to as a nation? The Creator himself. But everybody's like, shh, shut up. Don't tell, no, don't tell them, don't say nothing. Because now they're going to figure it out. You are trillions of dollars in debt to the God of the 12 tribes. That's why when you die, you're going to have to pay him back. And they know. That's why when you go and they say, oh, we absolve you of all of your, except when they do the trust thing, you don't have to pay nothing when the person died. Why? Because you're paying for it on the other side. They already know. They're sending you over to the other side where you got to pay off how you made Jacob go in debt, Yakubi, Misayele, listening to those who still sacrificing goats and chickens and everything else they shouldn't be sacrificing because the Father don't like it. He said, the new moon, your Sabbath, bear away with it. The only way the Father going to accept you, and this is why I had to warn people about twisting the law that do the Messianic stuff and everything, they are still doing the swinging the chicken head, okay? And telling the Most High to accept me. No, they are still sacrificing the goat and they want the Messiah to accept me. Nope. They are still doing all these animal sacrifices in spirit and said, let me get into the kingdom. Nope. because that's not the Most High don't want it. Okay? This is the concept. He said, I told you what I wanted. Turn my children into sheep and get them away from the goats. Well, you didn't do that. There's those who did it and there's those who didn't. The way you turn yourself into a sheep is you don't believe the hypocrite goat. The greatest, and they coded it, they turned it into the greatest of all time. All these acronyms, they're telling you you worship it in combo. Mendez, whatever name he go by is stupid, okay? He got all kind of name out here. But now, no, don't listen to anybody that's going to take my power. Keep going to the people, oh, I'm Quatulendo, I'm this. What? Everybody who worships the Most High and does his will is Quatulendo. Go sit down somewhere. You are his children. When you manifest in truth, everybody is the same. You are all Messiah when you walk in truth. You are all the hypocrite when you walk in lies. This is the game they're messing with you. Stop listening to the clones. Probably want a cracker, repeat after me. All they do is repeat, book and record. Don't know that they're running in a circle in a rat race. I had a conversation with a guy on the phone. He was blown away. He's like, man, because, some people are open-minded. Some people are rigid, closed-minded. Nope, I was not lied to. Go somewhere. No, you are the hypocrite. Fine. I have done exactly what I did before because I know who I am. But everybody said, you're not the truth. No, you're not telling. No, you don't know it all. I said basically all the Most High wants. It's not about what you know. It's about what is here. Is your heart filled with the Most High for him, or are you loving the hypocrite? That's all that matters. Do you love the non-hypocrite or do you love the hypocrite? That's what the Messiah came to preach. That is his entire scriptures. You love the hypocrite, the Most High don't know you. You love the non-hypocrite, the Most High know you. But he already knows who's going to love the hypocrite and who's going to love the non-hypocrite. I do not love the hypocrite. I can't stand that guy. Then those of us who are from the woman, no, we hate the hypocrite. We hate the fact that we even have to be around the people who love the hypocrite. It's like, man, when are y'all gonna wake up out here? You're cheeseheads. Hello, McFly. You see what you're doing to us. You don't know what you're talking about. You're destroying the woman from with the children of the 12 stars. You're helping the jackass kill us in the spirit. Now watch what the Most High going to do. Because we are like, hey, this one is not, nah. Even from the time I was young, I'm like, why does this not seem like somebody telling me bull crap? This is not right. Even when I learned about cancer in college, I took medicine. I said, wait a minute. All it is a communication problem between the cell and the brain. Why? Yeah, no, we can't answer that question. Oh, no. See, the professor's like, oh, no, see. Oh, well, that's how I knew in college. You people full of crap. You're not teaching us to heal it. You're just telling us what it is. Same with all the other things. I took medicine. I studied biology. I did, okay? I said, wait a minute. Even when we were doing dissecting, the father said, do you see now why I tried to, you saw these things, even when I went to go see the exhibit about Diana Fossey. Oh my gosh, that lady was scapegoated when they killed, they beheaded. Now I know why they beheaded the gorilla. You don't even know that was symbolism of what that was. I said, wait a minute. Why did he kill this woman if she was helping the people to do things right? What happened? She was set up because the Congo told you, even Toko said it. No, the spirit of Mobutu and all the others that were being deceptive was causing the creation to suffer. And anyone who figured it out, you were a casualty of the war for them. I didn't get it. I was like, wait a minute. She's saving the animals. Why the Christians ain't on top of this? Where they at? Isn't that what we're supposed to be doing? So that's how I know it's all looks good, but it isn't good. You're supposed to look the part, not be the part. You see? And so now everybody gonna learn. Your relatives aren't where you think they're telling you because you can't go off of the word of somebody who's teaching the pork god, the pig god to you. It don't matter if they say they're not. Even if they say, well, I'm not eating pork, but yeah, you're still preaching the pig god to me. Doesn't matter if you're not eating pork. Well, I'm not, we worship the people worshiping the cow. You're still preaching the pig god to me. Okay? You worshiping the wrong tree, thinking that you're not teaching this false god to me and other people. And we sitting there like, man, this can't be right. Up in the church like, man, why are we going in, like we're going in circles? Because the word church means circle. But then in Islam, why do you think they walk in a circle around the stone? Because it's the Kirk, it's the same thing. Just because you call it a mosque don't mean it's not still a circle. And in Judaism, you're doing the same thing. You walk in circles. Or actually, you're the one doing the magic to get them to walk in the circle. There you go. That's what they're doing. Okay, keep walking in a circle. Woo-doo-doo, woo-doo-doo. Keep going in the circles. That's what Judaism is. I'm trying to tell people, man, and all the other religions are tied to it. Keep them all going in a circle. Keep them all going in a circle, but don't let them see that they're walking in a circle. That's the lie. Keep them all walking in circles, but don't let them see that they're walking in a circle. Now when somebody says, hey, man, I'm walking in a circle, get that guy. Take him out. He's a blasphemer. He's wicked. That's the issue we're talking about. They've made the people walking in circles in a trance, Imhotep, like they did in the movie, the Mummy, Imhotep. Okay, that's what you're doing. You're under the trance of the fall, Imhotep, wizard. No. And so now that plague, you saw it on them in the movie, will now be the entire world. When they said zombie apocalypse, Imhotep, kill them all. That plague was a plague of Egypt. And they coded it right there in the movie that it happened even when they were there. And they don't understand, no, but technically everybody's under that spell. You're just being manipulated so you don't see it. All right. All praises. I put a song. Again, I don't own the rights to the song. If you can't hear it on the TV, I'll put it in the chat. But like I told people, man, the Kikongo language is the Semitic language. Lingala is a Semitic language. This is the language, the Chiluba. These are Semitic language. Stop listening to these pastors that are paid to put it in a pocket to lead you to the one pretending to be the Most High. You are the inheritance, and the whole cake belongs to those who walk in truth. That's why those who walk in the lies are not getting their fair share, and they never will. But they're going to convince you that when they rise you up and I'm making all this money, it's just eating grass because the paper ain't worth squats. You are the money. And this is the delusion. And we have the Most High has his angels in different places where they're fighting. You'll see, and he can use anybody to start exposing this stuff. And I'm telling you, the day is coming now. This is why they coded 2025. It's all going to come, like Kanye West said, all fall down. Yeah. He was saying, hey, when he talked about the whole thing about college, he was showing you that everything, as he was coding it in his music, you are a puppet in their game. That's why they mocked him. He was wearing the bear outfit to show you are the waka waka waka, sodomized, be a zombie, whatever. Oh, walking zombie, mocking tatan zombie. You were mocking. You were always saying the Mfuma's in vain by just saying zombie, because you are the opposite. You are dead inside. Even though you think you're bubbling, those are bubbling with life. Okay, we got to take them out, because that's the whole point. The Most High can manifest in different ways, and you're going to see this. And I'm like, no, don't let them who come from the woman that have the bubbling spirit. We got to put them out, put the light out. Now the Father said, I got you. Now they in the catch-22. They already in the catch-22 right now. They run into survivors like, oh, you're going to destroy yourself, and my people will be protected. Just like what happened when he protected those that were in the fire in the past, it will happen again. You will see this. Because they don't have a choice. They must destroy themselves. It is their nature of who they are. There's nothing they can do to stop it. But they're going to sit there and point the fingers. Oh, see, this is the Democrats. Oh, see, this is the... No, they always going to put the blame game on everybody, but where? Bam! Right here. Christians, oh, these are the Muslims doing this. Wait a minute, you Christians, Muslim, you would want... No, you're pointing the finger, Mpunti, because that was his name, Cain's brother, Mpunta, point, okay? So you are talking the way of the hypocrite, pointing the finger, except where? And even if you point the finger here, where did you get the repentance though? Yeah, it's my fault. But who are you praying to? Because the Most High is manifest everywhere. He manifests everywhere in his creation, but where Abaya, the spirit of Abaya, is with us, Abele, they're crying out, the blood is crying out. And this is where people are going to see the delusion that people are manifesting. Okay? All praises. Zola Queen Sambalolo, and we're going to get into the song here. Apologize for, let's see if it's coming back on. It's going to be a little bit, let me mute it. Yeah, because like I said, a lot of these people, they're seeking power. They're doing all these things. They have all this energy. They're what they're doing. And it's all because they want to compete against the one that they think they can destroy. Again, I don't own the rights to the music. Well, it's thought to be French, but that's the way they made it. That's our problem. We gotta keep mixing our language with theirs. Not much longer. Yes, way. Congo, yes, way. Kuto Congo, Kumayushi. King Congo, hallelujah. Let me get this singing all night. Love it on the Son of the Almighty. Zombie means Almighty. Rebecca and Isaka, Isaac and Rebecca were Banabe too. Okay, you're gonna find out you've been lied to. Lying to people. Bakongo, Benan Sami, Benan Isolere, that's what they were. Esau is a liar. Dang. Mama Abram and Tata Adamoya were Banabe to Banakongo, Benan Sami, Benan Isolere. These people are liars. That's who the Messiah came from. So, say happening. YouTube, and use for Congo. That's how they're tricking you. And if you're some one and zombie, but you gotta be careful. Some of these pastors are working for the sorcerer. They're not telling you you're carrying your poverty because you're doing the pagan way of worship. Many of these Christian pastors in Africa are following the Roman calendar and not the Bantu calendar. And then those that are following the Bantu calendar, you better be careful they're not Kemetis. They know it. So you sitting there dancing and having a good time, and you're being robbed for the sorcerer always because you cannot buy the kingdom. And that's why I'm warning our people more and more. You cannot get to the kingdom going through the hypocrite. Never. You cannot get to the kingdom going through the hypocrite, no matter what he says. You have to go through the kingdom of the Messiah, who is not a hypocrite. Yesu Kristo kuswa Kongo fumu Yesue. He is not Jupiter. And you cannot sell the bread to the children of the stars. If you come from the woman of 12 stars, you come from the Congo kingdom of the truth, nobody can sell you your inheritance. Many people have signed their inheritance away just by teaching their children to love the imposter, whether they know it or not. The whole world is going to be completely angry because the way they tricked you is you following the tares, not the wheat. And you think you're following the wheat. No, okay? You are not going to get to the kingdom going through the goat god, telling you he's the most high. And so many different ways out here he's doing this. Tatanzambi ascribed him all sin, and he wants everybody to pay for it by giving you a twisted interpretation of the Nkanda Yanzambi. We never said no Bible. Helios Biblios, that is a Phoenician word. Okay? The Nkanda Yanzambi, the Nkanda Congo is what these Phoenicians and Hamites and Hamitic people, they twisted it. They're using the word that was assigned to a Phoenician city, not the Most High himself. Biblios. That is a Phoenician city. By Baal. The word of God that you keep promoting out here is Baal. That's why you don't hear it even when you say it. Football, basketball, baseball, and Baal is pronounced Baal too. Baal the hay, Baal me out of prison, Baal. You out here throwing it around like it's nothing. Like it's nothing. I'm just saying it. Just because it's spelled B-A-L-L or B-A-L-E, it doesn't mean it's not B-A-A-L. And they're going to say, oh, but it just means husband. Husband of what? The house of El is Lucifer. He made you think the house of El was good and the house of Yakongo was bad. Okay? And then he tricked many of us to even hate each other for no reason. This is what you got to be careful of. I do not hate any Banabetu ever. What I hate are those who continue to think they're going to benefit by taking advantage of us. When in reality, they're going to go down and lose the connection. And they are assuming who is a star and who is not. That's where you're going to always get yourself into trouble. Never assume anything about the Most High, then you are automatically disqualified. But see, when you know the truth, then they disqualify you. That's the struggle that we're dealing with now for those of us who are understanding who we are. Then all the people who are going to continue to be probably want a cracker, I want to be a scarecrow, nothing in my head, okay? But then there's those who will call you stupid. Remember they say raka, okay? That's not, he didn't say no raka because he wasn't speaking in Yiddish. What he said was, what's the word? I don't know. See, people they want to believe everything these people that speak in Yiddish tell them. When the word stupid, zoba, is what it really meant, zoba, okay? Now that word is in the language of soup, soba. Or isn't that word? Sopa. What's the word in Spanish?
Sopa.
Sopa. What does it mean?
It's like a soup.
A soup. Okay, sopa. Okay? And then ignorant Really, what he meant was say you fool. Fool is zoba again, ignorance. Kukonda, kuzaba is ignorance. Kukonda, okay, or ignorance. And I mean, some other people might have, different, because I don't know what this Kissy Congo they have. But I told people it's like, look, many people are going to learn to pick a side means either the angels bow down to me or I bow down to the angels. There's a difference. The Maliki Congo either bow down to you or you bow down to the Maliki Congo or the Maliki Alma, the hypocrites. The imposters want you bowing down to them, but in our situation, for many of us, we were forced to do it. That's why he says he causes all those to take the mark. Many of us cannot keep the mark. This is the lie. We cannot keep the mark because we're not supposed to keep the mark. Many of us, they try to force it on us. That's the lie. You cannot go against free will. Never. And no an infant child cannot consent. Brainwash. See, I learned that every seventh year is the Sabbath. This is how they mature even the bond against you. In 2023, and this is how I know these people are about to get hit hard. Many of us born from 70, and many of us who've been born before 1974, in 2023, we should have got everything that was owed to us. That is what they were trying to code with what happened with Putin and everything and all this other stuff. Because the 7-year bond maturity, doubled, quadrupled, whatever you want to call it, okay? That is what they're not telling people. Okay? And this is why the father said, okay, fine, keep playing this game. Bam, I'm going to hit you harder. And he said, this time Apollo ain't getting up because it's over. You're down for the count. Done. These pagan gods ain't getting back up because the so-called aliens that look like African Americans is the kingdom of Congo. It ain't these hypocrites that they lying to you. They're going to get smashed. Congo in total are coming to smash all false gods and false idols. Just like it says in Isaiah when he says, I will knock down all idols. They keep trying to put him back up. Oh, he's knocking them down. Put it back up. That's what they do. They try to fight it. Watch this. Now he said, I'm knocking them all down and they ain't coming back. Oblivion was the code for that. Now I know what he really meant by 2017 because you got a 9-year delay. The delay comes from Esau. He caused the delay. There is no delay with the Most High. He said, everything going to happen the way I know it's going to be. You're not going to keep delaying nothing. It's going to happen exactly the way it's supposed to. You just think it's in delay. You just think there's a reset. Watch. You see? All praises. Zola Quingy Sambalolo Ingita.